There's more plugged into the gadget now. Got a real-time clock here, and here I've got a receipt printer. So this is a cheap printer. It's £15–20 on eBay, which is cheaper than getting one of these, which is the FP10. This is the printer that uses the unobtainable metallised paper. So even if you've got one of those and a roll of paper, well, I at least don't feel like using and printing it on it, because you just can't get the paper anymore. Anyway, this is a 58mm thermal printer, just a standard easy to obtain printer which runs off serial. So this is TTL level, logic level serial here, and I've got a serial connector on the gadget. I ran one out, so that's running the software protocol. It's not using a hardware one, so it's not a hardware UART. You do need extra power supply with it, because it takes 2 amps, this thing. And the same goes for the FP10, because that's got NiCads inside, so you've got that problem. You've got batteries. There's no batteries here. This is running off purely USB and this power supply. So there's no batteries in the calculator at the moment either. It's powered from the gadget. So there's a real-time clock there. I've also tried, this is one of these multi-sensor boards, and that works as well. I haven't really done anything with it or created any screens for it, but you can read that device just to check that you can access something other than a real-time clock. And this is an accelerometer, and that also can be read. That's a bit more complicated to actually get anything useful out of, but yeah, so they work. So the I2C is working fine. You should, I think they've got different slave addresses, so you might be able to attach all 3 at the same time if you wanted to wire them all up. Real-time clock plugs straight in, no problem at all. You just have to change the pin connector for a socket connector and it goes straight in, or put a socket on the PCB. I put pins on this one. These 2 here, you have to rewire them somewhat, so there's wires on the back of that. And this one, that was so different, I had to put it on a bit of perf board. But if you go to mode 3 and do a save, EXE, the programs that are stored in there get printed out. So there's a couple of programs in there. They're the programs that draw sine wave on the OLED display. If you go to mode 1 and do a save there, then you get the memories printed out. And it's pretty fast as well. It comes flying out the printer. You do use a lot of paper when you're fiddling with it, I found out, because it just comes out so fast. These are the contents of the memories that were there from power on, which is why there's loads of weird characters and things, P's and E's and C's and things, and strange exponents. If I clear the memory, let's clear the memory, all gone, and put pi in memory 5, there you go, and then print that out. So whoosh. So 0 is actually 0 times 10 to the minus 100. That's just the way that I decode memories at the moment. I could tidy that up, but it works. So you can turn that off as well. There's a print flag, so 1.70 times 10 to the 40. Inverse save, inverse EXE. So now, no printout. So if I do a save of all the memories, it will go into the buffer in the gadget, but nothing prints out. You can turn it on with 1.71 times 10 to the 40, and if you save that, it prints out. And you can do the inverse EXE, so if I do 1.23 times 10 to the 56, inverse save, inverse EXE, that just prints that one number out. And there it is, 1.23 times 10 to the 56 in memory F. Memory F is the inverse EXE memory. It's where it appears when you do that undocumented command. So yeah, it's all more or less there, I think. I might add things in the future, but the bulk of it is there. You can read the clock, do a 1.6 times 10 to the 40, and it'll update the clock. 7:15, and yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Makes it more useful, and you can get printouts quite easily, and you've got an SD card. So you've got storage, a printout, some other I/O. I mean, you can put anything really on an I2C device, plus an OLED display for putting up graphs or whatever you want to do. So it's expanded the capabilities of the 502 quite a bit, I think. So quite successful.